the first point is that corruption is a systemic problem. In other words, it's within the system and fabric of governance itself. So if you are going to solve it, you are going to have to take a very different approach to the one we have taken now. I believe that we have to have lifestyle audits, particularly of public officials, and so that we can determine the point at which you acquired all these things from, and you don't pass it through other people and just keep it. So that is going to be something that when we already have somebody who has offered themselves to do those audits for us very nicely. I don't want to mention his name, but if you hear his name, I'm sure you will know that he's quite capable of doing that. Secondly, I think that the information system of learning about corruption has to come from ordinary people. You see, yes, you can have the office of the special prosecutor, but it is only with information from ordinary people who are the implementing end that you get to know the real details and you can prosecute. Other than that, your prosecutions fail more than they succeed. So we have to have a desk that is linked not only to our Ministry of Information, but it's also linked to our National Intelligence System, where anybody in this studio can call and say, oh, Dr. Abu Sakara just left. He has taken 2 of your bottles from Joy FM. Somebody should investigate it and verify it.
Right.
Yeah? And if you have that kind of system where information can be given and acted upon, before it is then built in a dossier to give to people who will do the prosecution, I think we'll have more success. And there should not be conflict of interest. Right. It should not be that, oh, we've set up this system, we're going after those guys and not our guys. You know, it should be a fair system that everybody sees that, yes, it is fair. So, and in addition to that, we should also empower our judiciary. You know, we should not put encumbrances in our judiciary. We should ensure that they're operating independently. And part of this has to do also with the way appointments are made. We would want to see that there's greater independence and that there's a system of appointments that the judiciary themselves have a big input into to decide who is appointed to what position, as opposed to the executive sitting there and compromising itself by appointing those that it wants, or those who are perceived to be those that it wants.
Right.
So I think there's a whole series of interventions that need to be made in order to correct the system. It's a system correction that we need before we can have the returns to investment in implementation.
My final